What's up, everybody? Mr. OG Games here, and today we're going to be talking about defense. And also, we're going to get into a couple traps that you can set when you're playing defense. Traps, I mean, when you're being attacked, what you can do to fool the enemy and to also take on a larger number of attackers by just being yourself and maybe getting some alliance aid with that. Now, to recap from what we did yesterday with the March setup, we talked about and got into a little bit of discussing what tiers are best for defense. Now, the defensive tiers that are best for playing defense, the tiers 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9 are going to be your defensive tiers to use for infantry and your archers. Tiers 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10 of the mags are what you're going to use for your defensive setups. Now, with that said, when playing defense, and what I mean by playing defense, there's really a couple ways. One, your city is being attacked. 2, one of your allies are being attacked. So, we'll cover the smaller of the two. When one of your allies are being attacked, what you want to do is, of course, you're going to work with your ally, and your ally is going to basically, in most cases, let you know what they're doing, what's going on, and how you can assist them. In most cases, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to try to send troops to their city to reinforce them. Now, as we talked about in previous video, the embassy once again plays a big part into that. I know when we discussed ours here, we go into detail here, we can right now hold up to 136,000 allied troops in our castle. So depending on what stage of the game you're in and your march sizes, say for instance, in our case, we might be able to fit 2 to 3 allies into our city to be here to help us with an attack. The way to best assist in an attack on one of your allies when he's calling for reinforcements is to do what we call a timed reinforcement. So when your ally is being attacked, you would go into alliance battles, and right here in the battle log you would see who was attacking, and also the most important thing is how long before they arrive to their castle. Now, the best way to do this is to say if your ally is 30 seconds away and the attacker is 60 seconds or a minute away from arriving at your ally. That gives you 30 seconds to get there. Now, if his embassy is already full, if you arrive too early before the attacker gets to the city, you will bounce. What I mean by that is you will hit and arrive to his city and immediately be turned back and sent back to yours. So the best way to overcome this would be to watch the time, and if it takes you 30 seconds to get there, when he is about 35 seconds away from there, you would go into your ally castle, hit reinforce, choose your march, and send. It usually takes 5 seconds or so, give or take a second. You can learn how fast you and your device work for doing so. But the main goal is to send your reinforcement to arrive at the same time the attacker is arriving at your allied castle. If you do this right, you'll both arrive at the same time. You will not bounce. You will then join and be supporting your ally's castle. A couple things to watch for is if the attacker speeds. Once he sees that you're getting some your alliance is sending reinforcements, he may speed in. And in this case, you want to speed right with him to match time. Another way to do it, and to do it most successfully, so that way you're not watching if he's speeding in or not, would be to, within 3 or 5 seconds from that attacker arriving, would be to go ahead and send support and do an instant speed to him, meaning hit the reinforce button, and as your march is going, speed over to him using 25% or halves, boom, 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 real quick, and you're there. You'll also not bounce, and you'll be able to support your ally. So that is the best way to support anybody in an alliance. Not unless they want troops to be held there. The best way to do it is to speed reinforce, because like I said, you don't know if when you send to reinforce him, if his embassy is going to allow you to stay based upon if another one of your alliance members arrived there before you. Then you find yourself bouncing, and then, well, by the time you get back, you either have to speed back and then resend. You're using excess gems and excess speeds when you don't really need to. So that's about reinforcement in a nutshell. When it comes to your city and you're being attacked, of course, you've got all the troops inside of your castle or city will be used. Also, along with golems. And you can train golems depending on your city wall level. Like right now, we've capped out at 1,000. I cannot recruit anymore until I get to my next level. They'll also be in the basically defense mode when your castle is being attacked, along with every other troop that you have in your city. Now, if you've got one player coming at you, stand your ground. Let them hit you. They're going to lose. You will win as long as you have the proper amount of troops in your city to do so. If you find yourself being rallied, and that means that an attacker has sent a rally against your city, the best thing to do for you, one, is if you have no help at all, you find yourself the only one online, the best thing to do is just shield. Just shield. That way you don't have to worry about it happening. It'll cancel their rally. You'll go on with your day. If you find yourself with lots of allies on, you can ask them to speed reinforce you right at the end so no one bounces. And you can get a full alliance in your castle to hold off a rally, which in the beginning stages can be very small, and you'll easily dominate the battlefield. In the most cases, if people go ahead and reinforce you at the beginning, they will cancel anyway, knowing that the likelihood of them succeeding is very slim. Now, as the game progresses and rallies get bigger, you can do the same as you normally would. Don't ask for reinforcements. Watch that march come at you. Let your allies know to speed reinforce you, and you can do it that way as well. Only if you have enough people on to help you. If not, just bubble. Bubble and be done with it. A couple other things you can do here as far as defense. One, if you find yourself being scouted. Now, this will work if you are on and you're online and you're doing your thing, and you get an alert saying a scout's on its way to see you. Well, if the scout's a couple minutes away, one thing I like to do is to go ahead and send my troops out. Now, not out gathering, not out to place another attack, but send them out as in rallies, meaning start a rally against local castles around you. This way, your troops will not be in your city. Okay, they'll be starting the rally. So if you start enough rallies, you've got all your marches out. When you're scouted, he might say, oh, he's only got 50,000 troops there. Let's go ahead and do what we got to do and attack him. Well, he sends his attack, and within 5 to 6 seconds before he gets there, simply cancel your rallies and all your troops are back. And then he hits you and he wishes he'd have never sent that march. So that's one good way to hide troops. Another way to also do somewhat of the same concept would be to go ahead and send, or if you have marches out to rally, or not to rally, I'm sorry, but to gather, mainly gathering, maybe send out, excuse me, to attack a couple farms or something. And within 5 to 6 seconds of him getting to you, depending on your Lord skill you have activated, which I don't now, I'm mainly on development, but you'll have a recall all. You simply hit your recall all, it activates, you have all your army back, all your troops back within 3 seconds. 3 seconds. So then when they arrive, they're going to wish they never sent, because now all of your troops are back. One last thing that I wanted to cover would be the bubble trap. Now, this doesn't really work against rallies coming at you, unless there's multiple rallies coming at you. It's more so when you're being stacked, meaning that everyone from the enemy alliance that's attacking you times attacks you to where they're all going to arrive at the same time. What you can do is, moments before they arrive, say if 7 of them are coming, the first 3 or 4 are dead on point, meaning that they're going to be hitting at the same time. And then there's a couple other guys that are coming, but they're 5 seconds behind, 7 seconds behind, one's 10 seconds behind. Moments before the first guys hit your castle, you simply shield. This will, and that's why I like to have an abundance of 2-hour shields in the castle. This is what we call the bubble trap. You'll go ahead and shield, and those first 3 to 4 guys that were dead on will simply hit your city and bounce right off because you've got your shield on. The next guy, you go ahead and let him bounce, and then you've got the guy that's 5 seconds out, which is now going to arrive any second, and the guy that was 10 seconds out is going to arrive pretty much any second. You simply choose a castle on the map and scout them. As soon as you scout them, your bubble will break. Okay? And then it allows you to take on that 1 or 2 marches sent to you. And you'll easily outperform them as long as you have the troops in your castle. Also, if your allies will speed reinforce at the same time. So the bubble trap is most effective, especially early on in game. Now, once you get to where you get upwards in the level, and you've got a lot of people that have been playing for a while, and they're great at speed attacks, they're great at matching times, the bubble trap simply won't work because there's not enough margin of error on their behalf of gaps in their time sending to you. I've even seen bubble traps go where somebody is bubbled somebody bubbles, the first 5 or 6 people hit, they bounce off, they unbubble, they take on a hit, they re-shield, they let a couple bubble or bounce off, and then they unshield again, and then they take a third hit. So remember to do this too, making sure that your hospital is empty. That's going to obviously be a key factor in it. You want to make sure that you can take and heal the amount of troops needed. Also, in this game, lower tier troops go to the hospital first. So keep that in mind as well. When you're facing something like this and you're being attacked, or you're running the risk of being attacked, always send all your lowest tier troops out. Send them on a gather, send them on a march halfway across the map. That way all your higher troops are there and you've got enough room in your hospital to accommodate all of them with the attack as well. But that's some defensive tricks, that's some defensive traps that you can set, especially early on in game. It works very well. And of course, the ultimate defense when you're being attacked is to obviously shield. But if you're looking to outsmart your opponent, I hope that the bubble trap, hiding your troops and do an instant recall, or even setting those fake rallies and canceling them will give you the benefit when you're being attacked. But if you guys like this video, smash the thumbs up button, and if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe. And until next time, y'all keep gaming, and I'll see you in the next one.